Rich Picosi here, AVNation TV, here at CEDIA2016, and I'm here with Alex Capisalatro from JoshAI, a really interesting company that we've been hearing lots about on the show floor, and we had to come see them. So, Josh, we really just wanted to know a lot about, tell us a little bit the story of what was the reason behind JoshAI?
Sure. So Tim and I are both software people. Tim's our CTO and co-founder. Started the company about 2 years ago. The technology's been in development for over 5 years now. And we just really felt like the home should be as intelligent as any other technology that we work with. And yet it really isn't today. And so that's voice control, that's artificial intelligence, it's learning. We wanted to try to make a smart home that is actually smart. And that's really what started the whole process that got us to where we are now.
And I noticed when I was speaking to you guys a little bit earlier, one of the key phrases I kept hearing over and over that I really thought was fascinating was you were using the term natural language programming and NLP, correct? Is
Correct,
that the acronym? So NLP, how does it, so obviously Alexa is here. We're seeing voice control is becoming more and more prevalent, and there's some large partnerships that were announced.
Yep.
Where does NLP lie in terms of what we've been seeing with Alexa turn off the lights?
Sure. So in terms of the way voice technology works, you first have to convert the spoken word into the written word. Once you have the written text, then it's all processed by NLP. So it's natural language processing. And so if you were to say, play Adele in the kitchen and turn off the lights, that string of text needs to get converted into actions that get acted on. And so that's really at the heart of JoshAI. It's this NLP engine that does all that work.
So you're taking complex sentences and converting those into actions, whereas some of the other ones are a little bit more linear, which is start and stop this action, then start and stop this action. You're able to perform, and I saw in the demo that you're performing some multiple actions in complex phrases.
Yeah, so again, if you look at some of the other systems, you'll hear something like, Alexa, home on. And that's not a natural way to speak. We would say, Alexa, can you turn the house on? Or another thing like that. So for us, it's all about being really natural, really intuitive. And the idea is that we handle the spoken word the same way that we would understand it.
And what's at the foundation at JoshAI?
So we're built on a Mac Mini. The Mac Mini is doing all the language processing, all the device drivers, and then all the learning.
Okay.
And so we connect in directly to Sonos, Lutron, Autonomic, big ass fans, ton of different devices.
Which is always one of the coolest phrases to say in the industry.
It's a great product too. And so yeah, we live right on the local server. We're monitoring, tracking everything. We're keeping an update on what's happening in the home. And so we give you access locally or remote to control everything you want to control.
Okay. So obviously you have the big part of this is the spoken word component, but you also have a mobile interface as well. And what's the purpose of that? What are you using that for?
Yeah, so when you think about how people interact today, the reality is voice is great sometimes, but it's not the only interface. We still see a lot of value in having a graphical user interface, as well as buttons, switches, remotes. And so we're trying to create an entire ecosystem so that your home is really natural to work with. If you're out of the home, maybe you want to look at your cameras, maybe you want to get a view on seeing what lights are on. The visual dashboard is really important. There are also times where maybe you're in bed, your partner's asleep, you don't want to talk. And so we have a great suite of apps on iOS, Android, we're on tablets, computers, and we also integrate with Amazon to use the Echo directly for your hands-free.
And that's an important thing, and I think one of the concerns people were having is that it was an Echo or JoshAI, or a control system or JoshAI.
Yep. And we work well, we integrate well with all these folks.
Right, and one of the things that I had heard before is that you do work with these other companies. You have the ability, which from the integrator standpoint and design standpoint for me, that I looked at with it was really, I thought your biggest, really the biggest hook was that there are tons of legacy systems out there. And there is a way for you to be able to create hooks between JoshAI and some existing legacy systems that you can basically bring that system and fast forward into the future. What was the decision behind that?
Oh, it's exactly that. So we have a lot of integrators interested in Josh, but they might have a home that they've done a $200,000 Crestron install in. You don't want to tell the customer that you spent all that money for nothing. And so if you have a Crestron system and it's working well, you want to put voice on top, bring in Josh and we can integrate it all together. So it just depends on the home.
And then another item that I saw that was pretty interesting about your product was not only the fact that it's performing these functions, but I thought even more importantly was that it's diagnosing what it's doing after it's occurred. So your metrics and your diagnostics. What's the engine behind that? What are you looking to get from that information? Why did you put it in?
Yeah, well, so let's say you have a vacation home. You're probably not there all the time. We have customers who visit their home twice a year. It sounds crazy, but it's true. And so you want to get alerted if things go wrong, because when you go to that house and you find out your heat's not working, that's the worst time to find out if it's a winter home. And so we're diagnosing what's going on, we're sending alerts, we're trying to keep track of everything, but we're also creating a pattern recognition system to understand what things you do so we can intuit it. So for example, if we see that when your garage opens, you turn on your kitchen lights after dark, we should automatically do that. So the idea is the system's really monitoring the network to know what to do based on what the homeowner wants.
And then from the diagnostic side, and it's part I think I skipped over that I didn't point out originally, but what your discovery side of things.
Yeah, so what's really cool is when you plug in the Mac Mini, it's on the local network. Immediately, let's say you have Lutron, we discover Lutron, we pull in the XML file, that automatically creates the rooms based on that XML file, the devices in those rooms, and so instantaneously you can say turn on the lights in the kitchen with no programming. We just grab that automatically. We grab if you add a Sonos, grab if you add cameras, and so we're basically always keeping track of what's on the network, and as much as possible we automatically incorporate that.
That's fantastic. So if they want to find out more about JoshAI, where can we find you? Where can we get more information?
Sure. Best place to just visit www.josh.ai, and my email is alex@josh.ai.
All right. Well, great. Thanks for the time, and good luck in the future.
Cool. Thanks so much.
All right.